Welcome back. The city of Green Bay is planning for the future and it wants your input. Go Big Green Bay is the name of the planning process that is forming the 2050 comprehensive plan. The city is hosting events and a survey to ask residents what they want for our community. And ultimately, this plan will form a set of policies to direct future growth and development. And David Buck, principal planner for the city of Green Bay, joining us to talk a little bit about this process, what they've learned so far, and how you can get your voice heard as well. So thanks for joining us. First, tell us about Go Big Green Bay. How did this come to be?
All right, well, Go Big Green Bay is our campaign for our comp plan. So comprehensive planning, which is also known as master planning, has been around for centuries, not just in the States, but all over the world. And as I said, it's kind of called a master plan. So it is really a guide for cities' development, and not only physical development, but land uses, social aspects. And it's something that policymakers, city staff obviously, citizens, and also developers can look to say, hey, this is the direction they're going, and I want to be part of that.
Are we moving in the right lane? Here we go.
Correct.
Right? So what type of things are you examining in this comprehensive plan?
Sure. Well, the comp plan, and I just wanted to hold this up because I purposely
love
brought
this.
them. This is our current comp plan in 2 volumes.
So it says 2022, but it was done in
2002.
2002.
Yep. So a 20-year-old plan.
Yeah.
The comp plans are 20 years, run for 20 years. We amend them every single year, and we do major rewrites every 5 to 10 years. This is a complete rewrite at 20 years where we are now. So as you can see, it's pretty well loved, and obviously most online now. However, this is our guiding document. And the 9 elements that are required of a comp plan are issues and opportunities of your community, housing, transportation, utilities and community facilities, cultural resources and agriculture, economic development, intergovernmental cooperation, land use, and then there's also, of course, implementation. And those are only the 9 required elements. The city is looking at many other ones, and those actually come out during this outreach process. But some that we've heard right now are health, sustainability, and diversity as 3 major topics that need to be included in this rewrite.
This is what the feedback you're hearing
so
from
far,
people.
and we're still just at the beginning of that, so that could
change.
Could change.
So let's look at a couple of these things. Land use and development. What does that entail?
Sure. So the first thing you can always look at is a land use map, a colored map that shows, yellow is residential, and red is commercial, and gray
Parks,
is industrial, green is parks.
Okay.
And you can kind of see where things are going to develop. And we have other plans of the city, park plans, capital improvement plans, and those, of course, follow this document as well. But those are also incorporated into this document. So there's that broad stroke where should these things be? Park service areas and that type of thing. But this could also talk about the density of land use. So when you're talking, we want more residential development, one thing that we've heard is we want to see a bigger mix of housing types. That could be the style of home, so whether it's townhomes,
condos,
single family, detached.
Yep. And Green Bay's really worked on that.
We really have.
Really in the downtown area, kind of getting those things. Let's talk about like transportation and mobility. What are people saying to you about that?
Sure. Well, at the group meeting that we had last Wednesday, the visioning session, that had to be the biggest topic that came up out of the 6 tables of people that spoke, was connectivity and multimodal transportation. So not only for cars, obviously, but pedestrians, bicyclists. We also heard about boating and river usage. And then, of course, things like light rail did come up in those discussions. So out of that meeting, that was the biggest, I would say the biggest comment that we received. But some of the other ones that we've heard, of course, are affordable housing, homelessness, improvement in mixes of uses, appreciation for diversity, and a reduction in sort of polarization in the community. And then obviously you always get revitalization of sort of areas that have not been invested in enough.
So people do have a chance to actually give you feedback on this, give you ideas. It's okay to dream a little bit, talking about light rail or some of these other projects.
Sure.
So how do you get this feedback? We had one little meeting already, but what are you planning to do to get people to give you their thoughts?
Sure, so there's a lot of ways. There's ways for individuals and for groups. So we did have our visioning session last Wednesday. It was pretty well attended. We also did a visioning session with the elected officials, with our council people, with our department heads, and there's a 20-member citizen advisory group that is overseeing this rewrite. But for individuals, online on gobiggreenbay.com, and that is really important.
It's a great website. It
is
really
great.
is. There's a lot of information on
Right.
it, including that plan, right?
Yes, the old plan is on there, and it's constantly being updated with results of our meetings and that type of thing. But for individuals, there's an online survey. It takes 10 minutes. It provides a lot of information. There's also a program called Map Social where you can plug dots or lines on a map. You know, I would like to see a bike lane here. I'd like to see the coal piles moved. And put a dot on there. For groups, we have what's called a do-it-yourself kit. So it's a self-done kit to do a visioning workshop yourself. So if you have a church group or a civic organization and you want to do that as a group and provide that feedback to us, we would love that. We definitely would assist. And city staff and the consultants plan to do quite a bit of outreach in the next 2-3 months, maybe 4 months. You'll see us at the farmers markets. You'll see us at other events. We plan to go to the school district, summer school programs probably. And so there's quite a few opportunities for that as well. And then at the end of the day, the advisory groups meet regularly, and everybody's welcome to come to that. The plan will have to go to the Plan Commission and the City Council for review and adoption, so you have those official tracks as
So
well.
when will something like that get to the Planning Commission?
We're anticipating probably next fall.
Okay, so we've got a few months to kind of give you your input.
Oh, definitely.
So how did we do on this 20 years ago?
We have done surprisingly well. Now, the problem with this document, it is very, very technical. So a lot of reading, and without a heavy education in planning or civil service, it's hard to read. The new plan and sort of the new era is much different. It's going to be more of a readable document that everybody can understand, very small, with all of this data and appendages, tucked away that they can still be accessed, but they're not part of the plan. Primarily online and very interactive.
Great. So people want more information, they can go to gobiggreenbay.com. They can take a survey.
Yes.
They can get this DIY kit.
Yes.
And they can check out this old smart growth plan if they want to get a little technical.
They definitely can.
And submit some thoughts too.
Definitely. And look for city staff out at any events that you happen to be at. You'll probably see us a lot more than you want to.
Sounds great. Over the next several months, and we'll look forward to a final vision this fall.
Yes.
Thank you so much, David, for
Thank
joining
you.
us.
Thanks for having me.